Hey guys, it's yours truly coming back at you all with another one, and I do apologize for any inconvenience caused as I have had a busy last 2 weeks. And enough about me, let's continue on with our Yu-Gi-Oh! Hidden Secrets theory stories. And previously on our last theory story, we discovered that hoe with eyes of blue, known as Cassandra, that she is actually the daughter of Yugi's grandfather Solomon Moto, which would make her Yugi's mother. And the last two theories that we were left with to discover who could Yugi's father possibly have been. One was that he could have been a soldier in the army that Solomon Moto unleashed Exodia on and obliterated, simply because he wanted custody of Yugi, knowing the tendencies of his hoish daughter that she would not be deemed fit to be a mother. And the second is the one that I most likely believe to be true, and that is that Yugi's father is actually his best friend's father who served on the King's Council, which would make his best friend actually his brother. And with that being the case, doing our research, his best friend actually sacrificed his life and became his faithful servant known as the Dark Magician. And knowing Yugi's history with his family, he has soul ties with his family through a lot of the monsters that are in his deck, one of them namely the Dark Magician. And if his best friend who became the Dark Magician is actually his brother, then we would have to look at the lineup of Yugi's siblings in order to be able to put together the pieces of the puzzle so that this would all make sense. And if Dark Magician is his brother in alliance with Dark Magician, and assuming that Yugi is also the youngest of all of his siblings, this would make all other siblings in this context his older siblings. We would have the Dark Magician of Chaos. And when looking at the Dark Magician of Chaos, his stats are relatively higher than that of the Dark Magician. And in the Dark Magician's card text, if I'm not mistaken, says that he's supposed to be the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. But hey, they're all brothers. Who's complaining? One backs up the next. And with an ability upon being summoned, being able to add a spell card from your graveyard back to your hand, and being able, upon the destruction of a monster, banish it on the spot. That is a really powerful contender or monster to have to contend with. And moving along with Yugi's siblings, that would make the next monster Dark Magician Girl, Yugi's older sister, which would be relevant as seen in Awakening of the Dragons, where she appears to Yugi in spirit form, making Yugi's soul tie connection with his family from the ancient days relevant, with her being his sister. And with an effect of gaining 300 additional attack points for every Dark Magician and Magician of Black Chaos in the graveyard, that would make sense that they are all siblings, simply because she powers up off of her fallen brothers in the graveyard. And now, one of the spirit monsters that isn't a spellcaster that I would consider to actually be Yugi's best friend would be Karibo, as Karibo has come into some clutch situations where Yugi would have lost, but protected Yugi in those pivotal moments from his life points hitting zero. And thus Karibo would be considered Yugi's real best friend. His siblings, Dark Magician of Chaos, and Dark Magician Girl would be his actual siblings from his father, that is. And now the question is, what monster in Yugi's deck lineup would even be considered his father that would trump both the Dark Magician and Dark Magician of Chaos in relative strength, and has the ability to actually contend with Blue Eyes if needed? And only one monster comes to mind, and that is the legendary Black Luster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning, which would make sense as he has a relative attack of 3,000, able to contend with Blue Eyes, 2,500 defense, which equals to Blue Eyes defense as well. And what stands out is both of his effects. He actually has the ability to banish Blue Eyes on the spot if need be, so he can take care of any Blue Eyes threat just by banishing it. And with the ability of upon destroying a monster by battle, being able to initiate an additional attack, it would make sense why he would have served on the king's council and would have defended the kingdom at any pivotal point in time. And with that would make Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, and that hoe with eyes of blue the proud parents of the King of Games. And with that is who I believe Yugi's father would have been from the ancient days. And with that, if you guys love my theory stories and you would love to get more on a weekly basis, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you get the notifications. And until next time, later.